the sterile silence of a high-security prison, a place where shadows cling to the soul and the echo of footsteps seems to amplify every unspoken regret. Within the confines of this fortress, a man resides, a man whose name whispers through the corridors. Robert Maudsley. But Robert Maudsley is no ordinary inmate. He is the man known as the Hannibal Lecter of the UK, a label that clings to him like the damp chill of the stone walls, a testament to the monstrous acts he committed, acts that blurred the lines between justice and vengeance, a chilling dance of darkness. This is the story of Robert Maudsley, the vigilante serial killer who stalked the shadows of the prison system, leaving behind a trail of bodies and a legacy of moral ambiguity. To understand the chilling narrative of Robert Maudsley, we must delve into the man's past. Born in 1953, his early life was marked by a troubled upbringing. Details about his childhood are scarce, shrouded in the secrecy that often accompanies a life destined for the fringes of society. What is known, however, paints a portrait of a young man who was subjected to sexual abuse and trauma. These experiences, like poison injected into the veins of his psyche, would fester and shape him into the man he would become. This early abuse likely fueled a deep-seated rage and a warped sense of justice, a crucible that would eventually forge a killer. The exact nature and extent of this abuse remain largely unarticulated in public records, a deliberate omission perhaps, or a consequence of the passage of time and the isolation Maudsley has endured. Yet, the pervasive narrative suggests a foundation of profound suffering that no individual should ever have to bear. Maudsley's entry into the prison system marked a pivotal moment, a descent into the abyss. His initial crime, which landed him behind bars, was the murder of John Farrell, a man believed to be involved in the death of his friend. This act of violence, driven by revenge, was just the first chapter in Maudsley's dark odyssey. He was sentenced to life imprisonment, a sentence that should have been a period of reflection and rehabilitation. Instead, it became the catalyst for his transformation. The grimy, oppressive atmosphere of early prisons likely did little to foster any sense of remorse or a desire for reform in a young man already deeply scarred. The grim industrial towns of the north of England, where his early life unfolded, provided a bleak backdrop, a landscape of hardship and limited opportunity that may have further compounded his sense of despair and isolation. The prison environment, a microcosm of society's underbelly, became Maudsley's hunting ground. He saw the inmates, specifically those convicted of crimes against children and sexual assault, as vermin, as the embodiment of the evil he had suffered. His rage, ignited by his own past, found its target. He decided to take the law into his own hands, to become the arbiter of his own twisted justice. This shift from victim to perpetrator is a tragic trajectory, one that highlights the devastating cycle of violence. The claustrophobic cells, the echoing shouts, and the ever-present tension within the prison walls created a breeding ground for desperation and dark impulses. The timeline of his crimes is a chilling testament to his meticulous planning and unwavering resolve. In 1977, Maudsley, along with another inmate, took a fellow prisoner hostage. The hostage was then brutally murdered, a graphic display of violence that would only be a prelude to the horrors to come. The details of these crimes, meticulously pieced together by investigators, painted a picture of a cold, calculating individual. The prison itself, a labyrinth of concrete and steel, became an accomplice to his darkness, its hidden corners and routines providing ample opportunities for his gruesome agenda. The discovery of the first murder sent ripples of fear through the prison population, a hushed awareness that something deeply unsettling was afoot. Today, Robert Maudsley remains incarcerated. He spends his days in solitary confinement, a specially constructed cell within Wakefield Prison in the UK. This cell, often referred to as the monster cell, is designed to prevent any contact with other inmates. It is a sterile, isolated environment, a testament to the dangers he poses to others. He spends 23 hours a day locked in this cell, and the only human contact he has is with the prison guards. The description of his cell evokes a sense of ultimate containment, a cage designed not just to hold him, but to neutralize his capacity for further harm. It is a stark symbol of the fear he continues to inspire, a constant reminder of the violence he is capable of unleashing. The oppressive atmosphere surrounding his isolation is palpable, a heavy silence that speaks volumes about the contained menace. The impact of Maudsleys' crimes it has left a lasting scar on the families of his victims, on the prison staff who witnessed his brutality, and on the public, who are forced to confront the darkest aspects of human nature. The crimes have sparked debates about the morality of vigilantism, the role of justice, and the complexities of revenge. The very concept of vigilante justice, while perhaps appealing to some in its raw pursuit of retribution, ultimately undermines the legal framework designed to protect society. The anguish of the victims' families, who were denied the closure of a traditional legal process, is a profound and enduring consequence of Maudsleys' actions. The victims, the men Maudsley targeted, were themselves perpetrators of unspeakable crimes, crimes that had caused unimaginable pain to others. However, does that justify the brutal methods that Maudsley employed? Does the fact that they were found guilty in a court of law lessen the horror of their deaths? These are questions that continue to haunt the conscience of those who are familiar with this case. The moral quandary is profound. When the justice system is perceived to have failed, does the act of taking matters into one's own hands, however horrific, become understandable, even if not justifiable? The emotional toll on the families of those who were targeted by Maudsleys' victims is a further layer of tragedy, as they are forced to grapple with the fact that their loved ones, despite their own terrible deeds, met such a brutal end at the hands of another inmate. The question of Maudsleys' mental state continues to be a subject of debate. Is he truly insane, a product of his traumatic past and the violent environment in which he was raised? Or is he a calculating predator, a man who has chosen a path of violence and is fully aware of his actions? The answers, like Maudsley himself, remain hidden in the shadows. Medical professionals and legal experts have offered differing opinions, each highlighting the complex interplay of trauma, environment, and individual culpability. The chilling efficiency with which he operated, combined with his apparent lack of remorse, has fueled speculation about his true psychological makeup. The story of Robert Maudsley, the vigilante serial killer, is a chilling reminder of the darkness that resides within the human soul. It is a story of trauma, rage, revenge, and the blurred lines between justice and vengeance. Maudsleys' actions, while seemingly driven by a twisted sense of justice, ultimately serve as a chilling testament to the destructive power of hate. He became a monster, and in doing so, he confirmed that darkness can indeed consume the soul. His journey from victim to perpetrator is a grim narrative of how profound suffering can distort the human psyche, leading to unspeakable acts that ripple through society. The pervasive sense of dread that surrounds his name underscores the profound impact of his crimes on the collective consciousness. In the final analysis, Robert Maudsleys' case is a stark reminder that even within the confines of justice, monsters can be born, and the echoes of their actions will reverberate through the halls of time. The case of Robert Maudsley is a dark reflection of the human condition, a chilling reminder that the line between victim and perpetrator, between justice and revenge, can be terrifyingly thin. It serves as a somber warning about the long-term consequences of abuse, the failures of institutions to protect the vulnerable, and the devastating potential for rage to metastasize into something truly monstrous. The grim legacy of Robert Maudsley continues to serve as a cautionary tale, a perpetual shadow cast over the landscape of criminal justice and the enduring complexities of human nature.